Internet.
Oh no, there are
It's
people
already
here.
here.
Already here.
Oh,
They're
God.
here.
That's too fast.
That was a
It's
real
too
quick
fast.
transition. We don't have an intro like video.
Yeah.
Oh right.
I didn't make a new video for this
No.
month.
Justin, what a slacker.
I'm the worst.
Can we just play like 30
trust me.
seconds of RuPaul's Drag Race? That counts,
Do you
right?
want to get our channel taken down?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Brutal
Yeah.
play.
It's true.
All right, well, hello everyone, and welcome to a month of extra special Pride queer themed gaming. So we're gonna take a break
Yay!
from Skytown for a little bit, and we're gonna do a couple of two shots most likely. Having a little bit of fun and raising money. So, as always, you can donate to Extra Life. I'm pretty sure there is a link in the description that just kind of lives there forever below our faces that you can use. So, feel free to do that. And also, any bits or subs, we will match those and make that a donation to the It Gets Better project for this month. So you can donate in whichever form or fashion is best for you. Also, you could just share it with people, let people know what we're doing. If you can't afford to monetarily donate, that also helps to just let people know and get the word out. So we appreciate it if you can share as well. So for this week, we have a ragtag group of very eclectic adventurers that we will be seeing. They are currently sitting in the city of Terzel in the Out and About pub because they are super excited for the 4-day Love is Love festival that is about to begin, that this city is known for. They have traveled for many days to get here for this festival. They've got all expenses paid pretty much. They've done the VIP packages for everything, and they are going to make the most of their little mini vacation from adventuring. They had to do some fairly questionable things to earn enough gold for this, but they did it, and they're excited.
Yeah.
And so our group finds themselves night before the festival begins, which honestly, the festival's already unofficially begun the night before Pride. And they're in the Out and About pub having a drink as the evening begins. You are sitting on the second floor of this large pub. So you've got tables below and a group of minstrels playing, and there are dancers in various rainbow costumes dancing around the room and collecting money for various Pride and festival related charities. And you guys are sitting a little bit away from some of the noise, just watching from above as your round of drinks is heading your direction. So, as you guys wait for your drinks, I'll have everyone do an intro of their character. So, we will start with Dustin. Go for it.
I am Gooman Crest. Good, my friends. I am a plasmoid.
I didn't realize he had a last name. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Oh yeah. He looks like toothpaste.
I should have put
And
everyone's
Scope
portraits in.
didn't really roll off the tongue as a last name.
Gooman Scope makes him sound like he's like a Jewish accountant for some reason. I don't know why.
But yeah, I am a plasmoid aberrant mind sorcerer. I am an amorphous, like fluorescent blue blob with a pink cape. And I kind of look like toothpaste when I'm just sitting like amassed on this stool.
Okay. And does Gooman have preferred pronouns? I imagine that this is a question that comes up often because it's goo.
There are so many different assumptions made that because I'm goo, so preferred is not he, him, or she, her. Like, I am perfectly fine with just an it or anything in between. Um, the almost the entire idea of one defining gendered pronoun or non-gendered pronoun for that matter is like an alien concept to me because that's not how plasmoids exist.
Mhm.
So, I mean, as long as it's not like overtly mean or malicious, I don't fucking care.
Okay. Fair enough. That's very good to know about goo.
Also, I'm absolutely throwing beads down from the second story balcony table at other patrons dancing.
Excellent. Excellent. Yes, they're it's still fairly early in the night. It's only maybe about 7 o'clock. So it's the middle of summer. So you still have a couple of hours of sunlight.
It's basically
Um,
happy hour.
yeah, it's basically like second happy hour at the gay club. Um, so it's not as wild as it's gonna be later, but you just threw beads at someone who like suddenly lost a shirt. They might not find that by the end of the night. Who knows?
That's alright.
Oops.
We all know the risks.
It's fine. You just get someone else's.
Yeah.
It was probably mesh anyway.
It's just in trade.
Shirt is a relative term. All right, Sam, go ahead and introduce your character next.
Tonight I am playing Magrieth, or Maggie to her friends. She's a small fairy, swarmkeeper ranger, who is constantly followed by her pixie entourage, all in jewel tones and different colors, just kind of flitting about and around her. She's very much a punk rock princess, bright colors, very much the opposite of what you think a ranger would be, for the most part. And yeah, loves things like the activity they're doing this week is definitely her jam.
All right, let's go to the total opposite end of the spectrum. Court, go ahead and introduce your character.
Sitting next to Maggie is, for all intents and purposes, somebody that sticks out because of the lack of color that she's wearing. Um, uh, her name is Rainy Day. She goes by Ray or Rainy or Rain. Pronouns are she, her. And her favorite color is black, and you absolutely know it because from head to toe she's wearing black. And a gorgeous glittery black lipstick, black nail polish, and she is flipping through a tome that has a cover on it that says Book of the Dead, though it looks suspiciously like a comic book on the inside. Um, and she's got a look of disgust on her face when this Maggie, they're getting glitter on me again.
Fine. It brightens you up a little.
It's the opposite of what I want. And she wiggles her fingers a little bit and casts thaumaturgy to get a big gust of wind to blow the glitter off of her. And she is a grave cleric.
All right. As she does that to blow, a little bit of wind to get the glitter off, from the other side, some dancer comes around, literally just throwing glitter at everybody, and you just feel it all up and down your back.
She just
But everyone
closes her
around you
eyes.
is just cheering and singing like, "Yeah, me next, me next."
And she just goes, I hope you find the only Lego in the room barefoot.
No.
That is not nice. We don't wish that on people.
We do. She goes
Other
back to her comic book.
Book of the Dead.
Yeah.
All right, and last but not least, Tina.
Um, I will be playing Alessandra Apple Blossom, who is about if someone said, what color are you wearing? Yes. She is an Eladrin spring, very into the glitter everywhere, glitter in her hair, glitter on her face. She is dressed in pastel colors, pink and yellow and blue. She has knee-high fur boots, also pink and blue, because, we got to have the boots with the fur. She is wearing probably 4 or 5 beaded bracelets on each wrist. They all look like they're handmade. She's wearing a couple beaded necklaces that have little sort of handmade charms on them. One of which is her holy symbol. She is a light cleric. She is here for to just bask in all of the light and the love and the music and the dance and generally have a very good time.
Excellent. Yes, the revelry that is going on is definitely up Alessandra's alley. Like,
She's
you
adding to the music. She's adding a bass beat with thaumaturgy at the moment.
excellent. Uh, you guys, a moment later, after the glitter thrower walks away, the waitress makes a lap around with your round of drinks and puts them in front of you and says, "Oh, okay. Is that going to be pay now, or do you just want to open a tab?"
Tab.
Tab.
Should have expected that. I'm not even sure why I asked that question. And you can tell that she is wearing, a bright like yellow shirt, and she's got like a rainbow skirt on that kind of flutters as she walks. And so she has this like really detailed like rainbow eye makeup and everything. So she looks the part. Like she is meant to be here at this pub right now. But her demeanor, you can tell, is someone that knows that they are in for a night. She goes, okay, tab it is. Should I just like bring them coming once I see one gets low, or you can just wait? Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, if great. Well, if I don't notice in time, as I'm making the circuit up here, I'm the only waitress up here at the moment. Just yell for Sandy, and I'll come running.
Thank you, Sandy.
And as she nods and she steps in just like a pile of glitter that is sitting there, and almost like her boot kind of slides a little bit as she didn't quite get traction, and she
Oh,
catches
no.
herself on the railing. But she does that just eyes closed, deep breath in, deep breath out, and just keeps walking. Is there anything in particular that you guys would like to do while you are getting ready for these festivals to begin?
As a kindness, telepathically, I say to Rainy, um, do you want me to take care of some of that glitter?
Yes,
You
please.
hear this in your mind, in your own voice, by the way.
Goo? Is that you? If so, yes, please.
Uh, so Goo, like a tendril of Goo's self, will what is the word that is listed on my character sheet? Extrudes from the main mass of my body, separating itself from me. And as I cast Prestidigitation
Oh,
on
God.
Rainy, my like little miniature toothpaste worm just kind of starts crawling all over you, just like collecting all of the glitter like a gelatinous cube.
Oh, God. It's like one of those sticky rollers.
Literally that's what I'm doing.
She's kind of
I
like, thank you. Thanks, I hate it.
And as I reabsorb this very glittery little tendril, the glitter gets evenly dispersed among Goo's
Oh.
main form.
So is Goo like that
Oh,
Sparkle Crest now?
I was just gonna say you're like
No.
you're Sparkle Crest.
Yeah.
Hey, that can be Goo's stage name if you want to,
There you
get on
go.
stage. There you go,
No.
Sparklecrest.
Oh, yeah. Speaking
Okay.
of the stage, is there a schedule, like a listing of events, the different stages?
Yes, you guys know this schedule probably like the back of your hand at this point. So you know that the main stage is on the beach, and
Mm.
so that is where the main event will be. Each night has one big performer, but the very final night will have the biggest performer of all. That is the one that you guys decided to pay for the VIP ticket, so you can be like right up against the stage, like you're gonna see this show right up close and personal, and that is for Scarlet Sizzle, who you are very excited to see perform. So that's not for another couple of days that you will see that, but there are a couple other shows from smaller performers happening on the main stage each night starting tomorrow night. And then there is also a stage in the town square. That is mostly going to be like performances done by local groups um, that were able to sign up and get a time slot. So you guys might want to stop and see what the local people can do and what they have to offer. It's always good to know what the local drag queens have and what they're like when you visit a new area. Though it is not just drag, there are lots of other performers. There's going to be a voguing competition
Mm.
that you guys really want to go see. There is also going to be people doing step. There's going to be some people that are going to do like cultural performances from their different cultural groups as well, just to get a little bit more diversity. This city, I should say, is a very diverse area. So it's in the human territory. So it's probably like 35-40% humans, and then another like 20% human descendant of various kinds of half humans.
Human-ish.
Humanish, and then the rest of the population, because this is a coastal city and there's so much trade that goes through here, and there's so much job opportunity, the rest of the population, the other like 40%, is just a wide, eclectic group of people. So it is not uncommon for any sort of festival that happens in this town for there to be, some of the small cultural heritage groups that want to perform as part of it. So, the elves are probably going to have a performance that they're going to do, things like that. So there's a lot of that on the smaller stage in the town square that you guys might want to check out. But those are the two main stages of events, and of course, different stores and pubs have their own little thing that they're doing to draw people in as well. You know, gimmicks that you can come like, you know, make your own pride candle here and then get 50% off the rest of your purchase.
Mm.
And things like that that you guys can visit as well.
Mm.
Basically, as you go through town,
Pride
anybody that
candle.
puts the rainbow
Should be
in
pride
their
candles.
window is anyone that is participating, and you can stop in and see what they have to offer.
Okay. So what do we do this evening, friends?
No. Let's see. I do want a pride candle, but we don't have to do that today. That can be later. I just want to have one to bring with me.
Yeah, no, you should get those at the end so you don't have to carry your stuff around the whole time.
Exactly.
We do
There
have
are rooms here at this pub that you guys have
Mhm.
rented out. That's why you're
We do have room.
Okay.
yes. So you have a place.
So we're
to put
we're
your
already
stuff.
at and have checked into the hotel.
Yes. And this is the hotel bar that is
Ah,
attached to the hotel that is also happens to cater to a very particular clientele and their allies. The Out and About pub is actually one of the original um, gay clubs in the area, essentially, and so it's one of the oldest. And so they have been always a place of refuge in this area. It's again, it's a very safe area, and obviously the city is very much in favor of Pride and all of the various people that make up the community. But this is kind of like the oldest, most well-established pace. So you guys, as I said, you guys went all out and like put a bunch of money. So you had to book this room very far in advance, and it was not cheap. You're staying at the best possible place.
Okay, so we're all sharing one room.
yeah, we
couldn't
definitely
afford
are
our
sharing a
own
single
rooms.
room.
Boy, doesn't that sound
fair.
familiar?
I know.
It's fine. It's fine. You can sleep under the table.
Well, it's under the
We'll
desk.
just
It's
get
fine.
extra. We'll just get extra blankets. Okay, it's fine.
I mean, you don't
Yeah.
need a bed, right? Like,
I thought you could use
You sl-
stairs.
do you sleep in the sink?
Yeah, I just sleep.
bathtub?
You
in
just
the
make sure
sink.
that the drain is closed, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, we need to be careful about that.
My
Mm.
God, you
Was
can't
there an
just ask
incident?
people if they sleep in the sink.
There was an incident.
Well, I mean, it's preference. Do you want a sink? Do you want a tub?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. If it's really hot out, you might want to sleep in the fridge.
No, I think I'm okay in the sink.
There's so many questions I have about this creature.
Yes.
Sam has about this creature.
Yes.
Do you want to sleep in the ice
Well,
bucket?
allow me to answer one of them for you. While we're talking, I dip a pseudopod tendril into
Like
the,
it.
I'm assuming, fruity, colorful drink, like a margarita or an appletini or something that we're all
Yes.
drinking.
It is the
Um,
rainbow. It is a little rainbow like
Layered.
layered drink that has
Yes.
like a cloudy, sparkly smoke coming out of it. Is their special drink for the festival.
Okay. Well, I am dipping a pseudopod tendril into it. And that tendril is slowly turning the color of the drink
As you absorb.
as I'm just absorbing.
Okay.
So there's like a red band that's being absorbed that, becomes purple or green or blue and
Okay. Yeah,
Rainbow
this
Sparkle
drink
Crest.
is
yes.
yes. This drink is basically fancy jungle juice. Like it is made up of just about every liquor and alcohol and liqueur that you can think of for each of these layers.
Perfect.
So, yeah, good luck.
That sounds vomit-inducing.
Yeah, that's
Well,
part
it's
of
a
the
good
fest-
thing we're all already drunk.
Isn't that what we have?
Greater restoration.
That's what that's for.
Yeah. Lesser
right?
restoration.
Yeah.
Greater restoration.
You might need a grater.
Hmm.
Depends on how good of a night you guys have.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not have too good of a night. Actually, we can't. We can restore you multiple times at a slightly but a slightly less intense level. No
It's-
really big restorations.
Yeah, it's fine. Cool. Well, do we want to just go? I assume I'm making an assumption here that this bar is like, are we in like a Bourbon Street type main drag area, or
This town doesn't necessarily have a like designated boys town area
yeah?
um that you would anticipate, which is why all of the events and like are happening so far around wide around the city,
Okay.
because they don't have a designated area. There
Okay.
are a couple of establishments near this pub, because it is so old and well established, that have come up to cater to those groups. So like clothes for people no matter their size or gender representation. So there's a little bit of that here, but it's not necessarily so much a this is Bourbon Street or this is Boys Town. It really, like, this festival is essentially going to take over the entire city for the next 4
Okay.
days. It is actually
This
a
is
like
Vegas.
yes, it's basically this city's going to turn into Vegas for 4 days.
Nice.
It is actually, and the festival in the last redoing my own timeline, like 5 years or so, actually be like government sanctioned. So
Okay.
it's not just people doing their own thing for a few days. The government actually helps coordinate and organize all of this. And as you think about that, like, wow, like this festival, you guys have been here before, and you came, in the past where it was smaller, just a ragtag, thing. We're like, oh, we're gonna try to like put a stage over here and like get the permit for it, and it was a little bit more difficult. So seeing how big it's gotten is fantastic. And as you guys are thinking about that, you see down below, walking like and weaving very quickly through this large crowd of people that are dancing and moving around, um, familiar silver hair, and pointed ears. And you recognize that as Citrell, who actually is the director of Health and Human Services. And as part of her job, she coordinates this festival. But you see her making like a very firm beeline, as much as possible with all the weaving she has to do, towards the bar.
Hmm.
Is she the type where she's usually out and about at these events and kind of checking in with everyone, seeing how things are going, or is she mostly a behind the scenes type person?
Roll me a history check.
18.
From your history with her, you don't necessarily know her, like, you're not besties or anything, but you've run into her in the past, and she is someone that is a little bit more of a behind the scenes organizer. But she's also the face of this event. So you can see, even as she's weaving through, like, she's obviously like, she's, very high ranking government official. So she is wearing like a flowy rainbow blouse, but she is wearing like a knee length gray pencil skirt at the same time to like balance that out so that it looks professional, but also gets the message across. The reason you've run into her before is that you have seen her not at this festival because she's working, essentially, but you've seen her at other times at the Out and About pub, with her partner. And so you've seen them, and you've seen her cut loose perhaps before, as you've come to town. But you know that other than those moments where she allows herself to relax, she can be very just like straight laced, gotta get this done. She's the person that got the city to sanction this being an official event. So she takes it very seriously. As you guys are kind of noting that, as you're like, yeah, she looks
Being
really
nosy.
serious right now. Being nosy. Yeah. What else you
Probably,
gotta do?
honestly, probably being nosy, at least for Alessandra, in a very, like, a very obvious way. The way that you do after you've had a couple drinks.
Mm, yes.
Oh yeah,
You're
like
like
just like
pretty
the
much leaned
full
over.
lean over the
Yeah.
railing. Like, hey, I know you. What are you doing?
Yeah. There's a reason you guys picked being up here
Mhm.
away from it, but being able to watch everything.
Mm-hmm.
But you see her, she to the bar, and she immediately like steps to the side in the corner with Anchor, the owner of the pub, and you see them like in the essentially like the corner talking very furiously to each other. Anchor is a half human, half Triton. And so you see, like, as they're talking, it's a very animated talking. You can't necessarily hear it, obviously, over the noise, but you can tell it's a very animated and serious conversation. Like, as he's moving, his, like, dark teal, kind of sea-colored hair, like, is moving as he's moving his head, and he's gesticulating. Um, and it doesn't look like it's the best conversation that's occurring.
Drama.
Do we need to go eavesdrop?
Goo's already moving.
Slithering through the people.
Yeah,
picking
kinda.
up, picking up more and more glitter along the way.
Yeah.
Oh my god! It's like dragging a thing of slime, like the kid's
Have
slime,
you ever seen those things that like
across a
clean the
bar.
car?
Yes!
Yeah, that's just like what I'm picturing.
I mean, you pretty
Across
much
a
got it.
kindergarten classroom floor.
Oh,
Like
God.
a member of your adventuring party is Gak.
You know what's
Yeah.
even worse? The hair. He's probably picking up all the stray hair.
I mean, you know what he's gonna accidentally pick up by the end of this festival.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what you've gotten
Yeah.
into.
Yeah, but we've prepared for this. This is why we have 2 clerics in the party.
Well, this is why I know prestidigitation.
She just cast Spare the Dying on it.
Yeah.
Just on the way out.
Yeah, it says the sticky hand toy that collects all the dust.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Does he like stop sticking to things eventually if like there's too much?
He does. Okay, so they do.
That's when they have to
And-
shower.
And that's when I cast prestidigitation.
Okay.
And I get all my sticky back, because otherwise I start getting like disadvantage on acrobatics checks.
Oh shit.
That would be disappointing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can understand that.
I'm just, like thinking about
It's a
throwing
lot
it in the
easier to
dishwasher.
walk a tightrope when you literally stick to it.
Rainy is gonna she's still kind of like thumbing through her comic, which she realized now is probably like a copy of Hellboy or something. But she just pats Maggie on the back, and as she does that, she casts guidance and just says, "Go for it. Let me know what's going on."
Yes. She'll stop druid crafting little flowers that her pixies have been sneaking into Rainy's hair.
Like around her hat.
Yeah, like making like this little colorful crown that's all she's been doing. Like she'll take a sip of a drink and then just been druid crafting little like this little chain that they've been just like weaving into her hair. And I will which I had rolled a sleight of hand for that at a 17.
Okay, Rainy, roll a perception check.
22. She
You most definitely notice.
yeah, she just lets it happen. I think she's figured out that it's easier to just let it happen and pretend she doesn't know than having that argument.
Yeah.
At least it's not glitter.
I was just gonna say, you know what?
It
The
could be
range of
pixie
options,
dust.
this is at the top. Yeah,
With
could
this
be-
group of friends, her general motto has become "At least it's not glitter." So she's just letting the flower crown happen.
All right, I'm gonna follow Gooman, but I'm going to stealth through the crowd to
Okay.
do so.
Goo, are you also trying to stealth?
I don't know if stealth is the right word.
Like move
Um,
through the crowd. Like
Try to
Yeah,
stealth
I would. Be
I'm going to sneak up
okay-
and eavesdrop though.
I
for
would be
sure.
okay doing either. I mean, yeah,
Are
stealth
you
is
focused?
fine.
Okay. It's just this question. Are you focused on trying not to be noticed as you move, or just focused on
Not getting
getting
stepped
through?
on.
Not getting stepped on and stuck to? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you leave a snail trail? I need to know.
Oh,
It's not so bad that it's like difficult terrain or a slipping hazard, but how else am I gonna leave tracks?
Okay. Fair.
Just like a drag mark then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably
Alright.
just a clean patch
That's-
right now.
Dustin, give me an acrobatics check then. And then Sam, if you are going to try to be sneaky,
Mhm.
then give me an acrobatics check to get through the crowd, and then a stealth check to see if you are able to do it without being seen.
scene.
Add your
Uh,
D4, Sam.
Okay.
Acrobatics is 14.
Goo is able to weave his way through the crowd. There is definitely a flower that gets stuck on you on like your hip as you bumped against
I don't have
a
hips.
table. Okay, what would approximate to a hip in a humanoid form?
So just like about halfway down.
Yeah, just about halfway
Just
down.
like in the middle of me. Got
in
it.
the in the middle. But other than that, so you aren't entirely successful of not sticking to anything, but you do manage to more or less sweep through. Sam.
Acrobatics is a 22 and stealth is a 16.
Okay. You very deftly weave through. At a point you actually get past Goo. As Goo is trying to like move in and out and almost like reshaping himself to do so. It slows him down a smidge, but you just see the path and take it immediately. And you manage to get downstairs and through the crowd to the bar. I'm sorry, and it was a 16 for your stuff?
16 for stealth.
Okay. You step over there and you're very confident that you're not being seen. And for a moment, the conversation continues, and you hear Citrell say, "No, I'm telling you, something is wrong. They're not usually on time for anything, but it doesn't make sense that their carriage is here, but no one has seen them." And as you try to take like just a hair of a step to get just a little closer, Anchor's ocean blue eyes turn and notice you. Says, "Hi, Maggie.
Hi,
Did Sandy
Anchor.
not get you your drink in time?"
Oh, I just wanted to stretch my legs a little bit, give her a break. You staffed her by herself up there.
Yeah, the other waitress is late. Hopefully they'll be here soon. So hopefully that won't be a problem for the rest of the night. What are you having? I'll have the team down here get that for you.
That amazing rainbow drink, of course. Actually, just give me a handful and I'll just take them upstairs. Less trips.
He lifts his hand and waves over one of the waitresses behind the bar and says, "A round of the special," and turns around to speak to Citrell again. He's wearing a long, flowy skirt that's like a silvery blue that has two long slits, like from the hip down. Um, so it is not leaving very much to the imagination. He is clothed underneath. He's running a business. um, but he turns back to Citrell and opens his mouth to speak again and notices you still standing there. Um, Lily will have that at the end of the bar for you.
You know, if something's wrong, my party can help.
And it just gives this deep sigh. And Citrell looks at you, looks at him. Well, the guard is stationed rather thin at the moment. There are still people heading into town for the festival, so it is difficult to get anyone to be reassigned. And Gur just says, "Okay, they're a good lot, I suppose." And he pulls you, like gestures you a little bit closer.
Kind of shimmies.
I
She
say
like
to
float
them-
shimmies.
Float
I
shimmies.
say telepathically, yeah, and we're cheap too. What's 4 backstage passes between friends?
Who do you say this to?
The woman who had come in,
Citrell.
Citrell.
Okay. She shakes her head a little bit, looks at you. Says,
Oh, it's in her own voice too.
yeah. She looks at you and goes, "Oh, that is always an interesting experience. Okay. Maybe your office or the kitchens even?" And Anchor says, "Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Um, where are the rest of you?"
Stairs. Ooh, can you get the girls?
I've progressed at this point to having joined the dance party and am now making lots of colored lights come down and just kind of flash. So I'm putting on a light show from the balcony upstairs while keeping an eye on those folks.
Very nice. Okay. Yes, just meet me in my office when you get a moment. Citrell and I will be there.
I'll gather them.
Yeah, I can telepathically speak to anybody within 30 feet.
You are more than 30 feet from them. It's a very
Okay.
big club.
Okay.
Club/pub. All of it.
Yeah,
Anything the community needs.
I start tracking people down.
Okay. And should I assume you two head down when summoned?
Yeah, slowly. You have to stop and you have to dance with a few people along the way.
Of course, someone stops and
Yeah.
like grabs your arm and just twirls you
Do a
randomly. You
twirl,
have
yeah.
no idea who it is.
No.
None of that. Someone does try to do that to Rainy as well. How does that end for them?
You're muted, Court.
Oh,
You're muted.
Sorry, I was eating. When they grab her hand, she just squeezes it and casts Sacred Flame.
Cast what?
Sacred Flame.
Don't touch me.
Do you want to roll damage?
No, she would just like
Okay.
let it like get hot enough and then cut it off.
Okay.
Cut off the
Um,
spell, not the hand. To be clear.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
I mean,
Okay.
with Rainy, I feel like you have to be clear.
Yeah, probably.
If all you're gonna do is fart, can you go to a different room? This is disgusting.
There's nowhere else I can go. I'm sorry.
Mom's debating a diet of pure protein.
Anyway, um, you know slightly scald this person's hand, and they drop it immediately and go, "Okay, somebody's a little fiery. Have another drink, honey. Have another drink." Jeez. Steps away.
I feel like you're more smoky than fiery.
I like to think so.
I feel like somebody tries to pick up Goo by the cape and
Oh.
then immediately drops the cape, shouting, "Oh, this towel's wet!" I don't know why that whole scene just played out in my head just
Oh my
now.
god.
Yes, and somebody yells back, "What do you expect to be happening here?" Uh,
I will collect our picture of the special and the glasses. Using Mage Hand to kind of assist with all of that. While I wait for my party, and then kind of gather them to give them the run.
so you guys head towards the back behind the bar. Citral is still standing there waiting, and when she sees you are assembled, she knocks on a door just behind the bar there, and Anchor opens the door and allows you guys in, and you're let into a comfortable office that looks the exact opposite of the rest of this bar. So this bar is rainbows and shiny and glitter and glam and portraits of, famous people in the culture all over the place. And you get into the office and it is, desks, chairs, filing cabinets. And as he closes the door, it is as if you've stepped into a different dimension with the amount of sound dampening he has in this place, so that when he needs to do paperwork, he can actually get work done.
I don't like it.
Well, I'm sorry you disapprove of my office. But please, take a seat. And he gestures to the chairs in front of his desk, and there's also like a small love seat just off to the side.
Oh.
Citral.
Where's the fire?
Well, she takes a deep breath and she doesn't sit. She's not, you can tell that she wants to pace, but every time she starts to move, she stops herself. So she's mostly just kind of like hovering just to the side of Anchor's desk. Says, "We have a reason to believe that Scarlet Sizzle is missing."
My whole body just starts quivering.
Jello in a cup.
Scarlet was anticipated to arrive earlier this afternoon. And unfortunately, they have not checked in to their room here, which is why I came to ask Anchor if he had heard anything. Fortunately, they have not checked in, but someone doing a round of patrols did notice what appears to potentially be their carriage parked in an alleyway. So Scarlet seems to be here somewhere, but no idea where.
Is that alley where she was supposed to have parked?
No. Scarlet was going to be staying here in
Mm.
the suite. So
Which alley?
um, it's an alley closer to actually the main entrance of the city, near the
Hmm.
main gate. I can't think of a reason that they would go there, but it does appear to be their carriage. It's, well, the costuming is very distinct.
Mm.
That's the thing. All of the costuming and jewelry and other items are still there. Nothing seems to have been taken.
I mean, did it look like there was a struggle? You know, carriage windows broken, blood.
I have not seen the carriage myself to be able to tell you firsthand, and the report that I received was very succinct. It didn't say anything other than noticing the carriage and noting who it belonged to. In fact, we only really noticed and investigated because somebody reported that there was someone in the spot, which is why the
Oh,
patrol checked it out.
oh gosh. Now, has there someone keeping an eye on the carriage? Because
I have a question.
there'd be a lot of people
Do you have
here,
a
I feel like,
noise?
who would be very, very interested in everything in that carriage.
Uh,
Rhodes,
yes.
before you answer that question,
Mhm.
I would like to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. How are you
Uh,
doing it? Are you trying to go deep or saying service level?
uh, I am. So first off, I am going to do this. I'm going to cast this by spending 2 sorcery points.
Mhm.
Uh, when doing that, it is silent and stilled.
Mm.
Okay.
So I do that. I am going to probe deeper. So not only do I get surface thoughts, but I'll get any underlying motivations, their emotional state, all of that other kind of good stuff. If you fail a wisdom save, the DC is 15.
Okay. That is a 19 on the die.
Okay.
She is a politician. If you think you're the first person who's tried to probe her thoughts, you are mistaken.
I still get the surface thoughts though.
uh, as that question is asked, is anybody watching the carriage? You get the thought, kind of that surface level thought of, um, I. It's kind of like the feeling of just, I can't believe this is happening. Like we can't have this go wrong. The way things are politically right now, this just can't be happening. And then as she goes to answer the question is when she notices that someone's trying to probe her mind and looks around and gonna single out Goo because they don't really like speak.
I mean, you're welcome to make an insight check against me. I mean, I don't know, like, I don't do or say anything. I'm literally just standing here.
She's considering you spoke in her mind earlier in her own voice. That's why she's singling you out. You've already done mind shit. But
I
that's also
mean,
an 18 insight.
I'm also, like, just a pile of toothpaste. I don't have a mouth.
I think you
How
should
else
roll
am I going to
deception.
talk? Fine. Alright, continue.
um, but she doesn't say anything to Goo. She gives you the look. Like, good try. Don't try again. It's just the look. Again, not the first person that's tried to probe her mind in her long career as a politician.
Okay.
But she answers, yes, the local patrol is doing additional rounds through the alley to make sure that the carriage stays undisturbed. Thus far, I want to say the note that I received said that it was noticed about an hour, almost an hour and a half ago. And I haven't heard any reports of anybody coming back towards it at this point. And I do understand Anchor's point that Scarlet is a free spirit, but I worry because I just don't understand why their carriage would be parked there. It doesn't make any sense, especially with no one having seen them. I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Why would they leave their things there? I mean, it's an elaborate performance.
Yes, and Scarlett told me that they were actually going to be trying something new out in honor of the festival. So I can't imagine they would just leave everything behind. So if you think that you can be of assistance, even just checking out the cart a little bit more in depth than what that patrol team was able to understand, I would be much appreciated. I would much appreciate it.
I think we can do that.
Yeah.
At least make sure everything's okay, or at least the carriage is intact, and see what we can find.
Anchor from behind his desk says, "Okay, well, I will send word if Scarlet does show up to check into their room. And while I wasn't intending to have any assistance be brought into this situation, I do appreciate it. So your tab for the night is on me."
Immediately starts like really drinking.
Chug, chug.
I mean, in that case,
I just absorb my entire, like, the whole mug.
In like 10 seconds, it's just like you
just
turn rainbow.
envelop it.
It's just a mug floating inside you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would like the mug back if you could. Thank you. But yes, I will make sure that's taken care of off of your room tab. Don't worry about that. Citrell says, "Well, thank you for the offer. Once you're ready to head out, you'll want to go to the Applegate Apartments towards the entrance of town. The alley behind those apartments is where you will find the carriage. And as I said, there's a patrol keeping a tighter loop in that area that will be helpful in guiding you a little bit more once you arrive."
Okay.
Should we leave everything there in place? Or should we
you want us to
move
bring it back here?
In case this is a false alarm,
Mm.
I would not want Scarlet to think that anyone has stolen all of their stuff. So for the time being, it is probably best if it is left. And if there is something nefarious going on, I also would not want to tip them off that we've realized it. So probably best to leave it there for now.
Okay.
I'll deal with the complaint from the apartment complex later.
Mm.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's go.
Okay, well, please keep me appraised. Well, let Anchor know, and Anchor will be able to get a hold of me. Thank you again. And
course.
she gives a polite nod and takes a very brisk walk out, um, heading off to do some more work for the festival. It's the night before. There's lots to do and make sure it's buttoned up. As he opens the door, it's almost painful. The difference between like damn near utter silence and Bourbon Street chaos that is going on out there. But she walks out and closes the door behind her again.
Okay.
Rhodes, what
Mm.
Scarlet, what species?
Scarlet is a fire ganassi.
Mm.
It's the name. Scarlet Sizzle.
Love it.
Okay. Fire. Yes.
Cool.
Would we have come through this area of town on our way into the city? Would we have passed through this place, or is this an area that doesn't have anything in relation to the festival that we wouldn't really have been to?
Yeah, you probably didn't. You probably walked past the neighborhood. It's a residential
Okay.
neighborhood. So you wouldn't have really had any reason to stop by.
Right. Pretty much head out, finish our drinks and head out.
Yeah.
You guys have now had 2 drinks. Please roll a con save.
Oh no.
2 drinks of fancy jungle juice.
Oh no.
If we fail, would this be poisoned effect?
Sure.
Yes.
Who's drinking alcohol is electing to poison yourself. I can admit that that's true.
19.
19. Was that a 12? Was that a 1? Court?
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh. Miss Jackson.
Miss Jackson. Okay. Most of you are fine. You feel the buzz. And if you were staying here, you'd definitely, well, Alessandra was already on the dance floor. But,
Yeah.
Maggie probably would be very
Mhm.
shortly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Goo would, but Goo might like slither around to the beat a little bit. I don't know if Goo likes to dance.
Oh, I'm definitely loosened up.
Yeah, you're
So
like
I'm a
you're
little
not-
bit more
Yeah.
amorphous.
Yeah, where's my okay.
Do you get
There
like
we go.
patterns from the sound waves?
So like instead of the little adipose sitting like up straight, you're just a little more like this.
Yeah, I'm just a little shorter and a little wider.
No. Okay. You're gonna have to hang out here to be a demonstration for the rest of this game. Thanks, buddy. Rainy, however, actually, oddly enough, this drink is really good, and you're starting to feel pretty similarly to your friends. Like as you start to head out, this is whatever song they're playing is a bop. Like you are enjoying this, and you're actually a little bit reluctant to leave and not stay for the revelry.
I'm looking for a guy in finance. She's kind of like bopping along to the music, but reaches up and touches the flower crown that she knows is on her hat and makes it cast like bright pink light in all directions
Yes.
as they're like making their way back through the club.
There we go. Get in the spirit.
Right. Yes, Rainy is in the spirit. It takes the 3 of you a little bit by surprise. Like, what? Okay.
It didn't take nearly as long as I thought it was going to.
Slay Queen, they go for it.
Yeah, you don't.
She goes, when you got up and left the table, I drank all of your drinks.
Aha.
Right. Are you guys going to head straight there? Or are you continuing to avail yourself of the free drinks for the rest of the evening?
I think she is there. Okay. I'm picturing this place like having like in Vegas they especially downtown they have like the stands where you can get like food and other drinks and stuff. Is there a kebab stand she can stop at?
Oh, there's
And get like a
definitely food
or
cart.
something like that.
Lots of food carts
Yeah.
that are around more than usual. There's usually food carts around lunch and dinner time in the city. But no, there's it feels like there is one on every block at this point set up for the festival.
Yeah, she probably stops at the first one and gets some of those like really good smelling like cinnamon sugared nuts and then like
Mm.
oh the next one hot dog all the way and then oh look now we need a gyro and oh but now I need something to drink so she's just eating she kind of soak up the alcohol.
Mm. Right.
What better way to
Is
soak
there
up
anything?
alcohol than with street meat?
Yes, street meat. That's gonna mix well.
Yeah.
Um, is there anything you guys need before you start adventuring?
Mm,
I think so.
I don't
It's the
think so.
evening, so like at this point it's probably 7:30, 7:45-ish. So like there are some places that are still open for probably the next like 15 minutes. If you're like,
Mhm.
ooh, it'd be helpful to have this one thing, you could probably run in and see if someone has it. But other than that, the shops will be closing very shortly. And it'll really just be the people with food and alcohol that'll be open till basically for the next 4 days straight.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
Close at 6, open at 8.
Yeah.
6 a.m., open at 8 a.m.
Pretty
Rinse
much.
and repeat.
Yeah, just really closing down enough to like clean the
Clean.
place
hmm
so you can start over again.
Yeah.
'Cause no one wants to clean 4 days worth of festivities at the end.
Well,
So it's better to just close for a few hours, hose it down, and then start over.
I don't think anything
Well,
supplies wise. I think
no.
Maggie would want to grab like like a like one of those 20-ounce slushies that like they've got like the margaritas and
The
the
yardstick
daiquiris.
margaritas?
Yeah, like the daiquiris and stuff. Where it's just like a wall of slushy machines.
Like can you see them? There's the tropical isle. There's the hand grenades
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that.
hand grenade.
There is a bar that you guys can run into and grab another drink. This is not an attached establishment to the out and about pub. This does not count towards your free drinks for the evening.
That's okay.
So you would have to pay. Take that into consideration as you guys like walk up and you're like, ooh,
Mm.
I gotta pay for this one.
Well, I figure if we go to the carriage now before anything happens, and then we can come back, and we'll
It's
just
gonna
take
be here
advantage
all
of.
night.
It's gonna we'll take advantage of the tab after.
Okay.
Also, if we
So you
get
guys-
drink on the carriage, I think that Scarlet will be very unhappy.
Also, if we pour more drinks into Rainy, I think it'll be more than just liquor in the carriage.
Oh, yeah.
Fine.
Some of the little pixies are like trying to hold you up.
Her hat's like sideways.
Yeah.
There's one adjusting the hat up. There's one already prepped behind to grab your
Mhm.
hair.
ready for this moment. All right. In that
It's
case,
fine,
you guys,
girl. We got your
Yeah.
back.
with a little bit of stumble from one of you, perhaps, you guys are able to make your way about a quarter of the way across the city to the main gates.
Mhm.
Normally, the town would be slowing down for the night and whatnot, but you still see, because you're so close to the main gate, you still see the guards admitting people into town. And as the large main gates are open for a moment, you don't see the end of the line
God.
of people that are still heading in for the festivities. But not too long later, you guys get to you see a sign that's a little worn down. The red uh, letters that were painted on or a little weathered. It could use a little bit of a spruce. The wood sign has definitely been aged, but you see the sign that says you're at the Applegate Apartments.
Hmm. Is there like an
And
alley to either side or both sides?
you see an alleyway. It's very easy to see, like kind
Mm,
of behind the. It's not a huge apartment
mm,
complex. It's really just like one long building. It's not multiple buildings in
mm.
this particular complex. But you see, you just kind of loop around to the side, and you do see an alleyway, and there is a town guard
Mm,
that is walking through
mm,
looking around the alley, just checking on things.
mm. Shall
He
we?
notices you guys, but doesn't like he notices you guys moving, but he doesn't say anything. There's lots of people around, like he doesn't stop you or anything of that nature.
Mm, mm,
Yeah. We'll head
And this guard is just like patrolling the area around these apartments, right?
Yes. And after he notices you as he was about halfway down the
mm,
alley, he notices you guys approach, doesn't clock any concerns, whatever people walking around. That's just what it is. You see him towards the end of the alley, stop. Instead of just like walking and glancing, he stops for a moment and walks a little closer to that carriage and does like a look to the left of it, look to the right of it, kind of half squat to look
mm,
underneath it, and nods to himself and continues to walk on.
mm.
I think
And
that's the carriage.
as you guys approach, you realize that this alley is not like an alley for trash or anything like
Mm,
this. You realize there's several awnings along the way, and under each awning is a parked carriage. And these are essentially, I almost said carports, carriage ports,
oh,
um, for the apartment. So there's up against each of the buildings. There isn't a different apartment complex that's on the back side of it. Um, and each spot seems to have designated parking area, and you even see a large like storage unit for them as well. So you can see like, oh, this is part of the amenities that the apartment has. You should be able to move. Let me know. I think I assigned everyone appropriately. Let me know if I didn't. Oops.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Perfect.
Okay.
Um, so essentially, this carriage is parked like in a parking space.
Yeah, it's parked in a carport. Yeah, at a parking space with an alley with a awning on top of it to cover it from the elements and that sort of thing.
Are these ports like numbered
Mm,
or identified for like particular units in these apartments?
Give me a perception check.
Can I have advantage on that?
Why would you have advantage on it?
Because
What's
I
your argument?
asked nicely.
Um, no.
Now I'm not gonna give you the help action because I was gonna.
10.
Yes, you
Mhm.
step like right up to that first one next to you, and you see painted on the ground, slightly faded numbers that says like 102B.
Okay.
And then you look to the other side and you see one that says 202B.
Mm,
So you can presume, yes, these are designated spots per apartment.
Okay.
mm. Okay. Which one is the carriage parked in? Is there a way to we know which one the carriage is of these ones because we saw the guard
Mhm.
do a check.
We assume.
So as we get
Yeah, that's your
closer,
assumption.
as we get further down the alleyway, can we see whose spot this is taking up?
As you guys walk over to the carriage at the end, you notice that this is spot 403.
403.
I don't like
Can
how
I
Dustin's
have-
mini moves with the hexes. That's weird.
It works too well.
It works too well. Yeah. Like, okay, hold on. I don't have the combat up. Do it one more time.
Doop 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 doop.
Yeah, I don't like it. It
Doop 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 doop.
weirds me out.
I mean, at least that's not accurate sound effects.
It'd be funny if it was
Or
though.
is it though?
Or is it though?
The actual sound effects would be like mixing mac and cheese sounds.
Oh.
Oh.
Anyway. Can I cast detect magic to see if there's anything essentially hidden, especially around the carriage that maybe we're missing?
Yeah. Are you doing it? Are you going to the carriage and casting around that particular area?
Yeah, I mean, it lasts for 10 minutes, I think. So, should move up
Yeah, just let me know where you're going so I know the
and
the
cast it
range.
probably like right around here, and then just like look in the area all around the carriage and see, if there's anything in the area like residual or anything like that.
From where you're standing, you're able to you feel confident, like you're getting the bulk of this alley. And you do get some faint auras from inside a couple of the like locked storage units. They're like
Mhm.
small sheds, kind
Mhm.
of, particularly from this one and this one. Um, and they are God, I didn't pull up the schools of magic. God, just keep that open when DMing. God.
Especially when there's like clerics.
Clerics
Yeah.
and wizards.
Yeah. From one of them you get abjuration magic, and from the other you get transmutation magic. From the carriage itself, you do get a few different pings. That are not necessarily alarming. They're conjuration, abjuration, and illusion.
She's still drunk, pretty much. So all of a sudden, you guys just hear her like listing off the schools of magic that are pinging, and she's just like staring at the carriage, listing
you-
off the school.
Are you singing that song again?
No.
I really hope there's a song to memorize the schools of magic.
Yeah.
Nursery rhyme. that's
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the
It's like
ABCs.
It is.
abjuration, conjuration.
It's like Do Re Mi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's left. All of those around the carriage.
Um,
And she just kind of goes, magic. Her eyes are really fucking glazed over.
Give me another con save.
Okay.
As the street meets have hit
Oh,
your
the
stomach.
oh
meats.
no.
Oh no.
Not much better. That's a 10.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Your stomach gives a little bit of a wobble. But other than that, you kind of like you take a deep breath. And you're like, hmm. Fine.
You shouldn't eat meats and nuts together.
No. No.
Okay, well, there's a joke there somewhere.
I know, and my brain was trying to think of something.
If you want to sit down.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
She just sits in the middle of in the middle of the alley.
I'm gonna kind of flit over her, a little bit of a
Mhm.
hop, and approach the carriage. And can I just do like, I don't want to open the doors yet, but just like investigate, see if I can look through the windows, make sure that this is the carriage we're looking for, and just like if there's anything out of the ordinary about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as you're
go
doing
ahead
the
and do that.
hop, she's just gonna like reach out. She probably slaps your ass on accident. She's like, "Go for it," and she'll cast guidance on you again.
Perfect. It's good because I freaking need it. That's about as good as I anticipated with a +0. 13.
Okay. You step up to the carriage. You start with just kind of looking on the outside and seeing what's going on. And you kind of start at the back as you walk up to it. You don't say anything out of the ordinary there. When you get to essentially the driver's side
Mm.
door of the carriage, um, you kind of glance, you kind of pause for a moment, and look a little deeper, and you do notice a scratch that it doesn't look like a scratch that would come from just brushing up
Mm.
an accident, a
Mhm.
door hitting you. You've adventured long enough and you generally know what it looks like when a sword or blade of some kind makes contact with wood.
Mm.
And that's what it looks like.
Whoa.
Look at this. It's scratch here. And where is it? It's like on the door
It's on the door, yeah.
on the outside.
Yes, on the outside of the door. Hmm.
Uh, she'll Maggie will
Mhm.
point it out.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's not good. I mean, it could be,
On the way here.
but it definitely looks more like a blade than just a branch.
No.
As you guys are looking around, you hear, not trying to be subtle or anything of
Mhm.
that nature, you just hear like heels on the cobblestone. Are you here to move this carriage? This carriage is in my assigned parking spot. And as I tell everyone here, it doesn't matter if I own a carriage or not. This is my spot.
Well, if you don't have a carriage, what are you gonna do with the spot sitting in?
And
As you
her
sit in the spot.
Did you sit with the spot?
and her, cropped gray swoop hair just you see just swoosh as her head turns almost like a freaking possession. And she looks at you and says, "It doesn't matter. I pay for this spot as part of my rent. It's mine. And if I don't want anything there, I don't want anything there. That's why I reported somebody parking in it earlier. But they've just left it here for almost 2 hours. 2 hours. Seen the guard come by many a time. Haven't moved it. Where's the tow carriage?"
And Rainy looks at her and she goes, "Shh, I could do that too." And she like
Did you
swoops her hair back at
see?
her.
Do you see who parked it?
No. I just came back from doing my grocery shopping. And I did my usual lap around the apartment just to make sure everything in the building was fine and everybody was keeping up with the HOA rules.
I hate
Oh
this
god,
bitch
I
so
hate her
much
so
already.
much.
Fucking hate her.
And I noticed it there.
Can we
When it
please
shouldn't
roll
be.
initiative?
You know what? I think that you just, what's your name again? Is it Karen? Did you say it was Karen? You just need to calm down
How?
and it'll move when it moves.
Well, okay, I assume you read the report. Yes, my name is Karen Crabtree.
course.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
More
Well,
like
maybe
Karen
you're just-
crab ass.
You're just being a little too much of a crab apple right now, and we're trying to get to the bottom of this carriage mystery. So maybe you just need to go be quiet and go feed your cat.
I don't have a cat.
Well,
You
maybe
should have
you
a
should
cat.
because you would be happier.
Are animals not allowed in this complex? Is that the problem?
They shouldn't be. I've been petitioning
There it
that we can
is.
just get away with all of that because they are loud and they cause smells that we don't need in an establishment such as this.
Rainy still drunk as fuck, nauseous.
Mm.
She is going to
there.
cast thaumaturgy again, and
Mhm.
as this bitch won't shut the fuck up, she's gonna make her voice booming up to 3 times as loud for 1 minute. Just go, shut up! You're talking too much. Maybe something's wrong. Did you ever think of that? If you don't know who parked here, wait it out. You don't have a carriage, so be on your way. And she's just like talking over her at this point.
Did you, and like as you're doing that, she's getting louder and louder. Did you even actually work for the apartment complex? Who are you anyway? I am going straight to the property manager about this. I cannot believe this. And she starts like muttering to herself, walking off, stomping off, and you see her like,
Where
Yeah.
did this woman come from?
Nowhere. Just showed up.
give me a essentially a retroactive perception check
Mm.
to see if you
As she's
notice.
Can I
walking
shout
away-
after
came
her and be
from.
like, who's the property manager?
Not her.
That is a 14.
You realize that she actually came from the opposite end that you guys did. So, like, essentially, it's called the northern end of the map is where she came from, which explains why it was so easy for her to like sneak up on you, so to speak. She
Yeah.
wasn't walking as long. She basically just kind of came around the corner.
While
Okay.
she's
the apartment
walking
building.
away, again, I'll use thaumaturgy and cause tremors under her feet.
It's ridiculous. I'm talking to Liben about this, and I am going to get a gate around my spot. I don't care if it's not allowed. It should be allowed to prevent things such as this.
Well,
Such as
you
this.
might have to pay an HOA fine for that, Karen.
You would have to get
And
it in the
she's like-
bylaws.
She's like halfway around the building. You say that, and she just turns and looks at you and says, I am the HOA. Flips her hair and keeps walking away.
Of course you are.
Well, you probably need a cream for that.
No, that's a different acronym.
Yeah, I forgot.
This one can't be cured with a cream.
Oh. I didn't take that spell today.
I don't think there's anything strong enough to to get rid of Karen from the HOA.
She's like a CR30.
Yeah, it's like a CR30.
Like maybe a Tarask?
Yeah.
Maybe.
She
Maybe.
wields the bylaws of doom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a devil, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I want to build that as an
You make a
actual
warlock
nickname.
pact with her? Is she your patron?
Fiend devil.
Yes. Yes.
Ew.
As she's walking away, I am going to start speaking to her telepathically.
Why are we harassing this woman?
And I just want to. Alright. So I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
And then I'm going to start speaking to her, like, validating all of the, like, shit that she's, like working up in her head, and I'm gonna try and just like egg her on and like convince her that she's talking to herself to see if she knows anything.
Okay.
Like anything else about this carriage, how long it's been here, if there's anybody else that has been poking around it other than that one guard. So I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts so I can hear her surface thoughts.
Okay.
And then I would like to make a deception check to impersonate her to herself. Just like, yeah, whatever she says, just like respond in the affirmative.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that deception check with advantage because affirmation. Yeah, of course.
22.
Jesus.
Yeah. Like you thought that she was worked up out loud as she was, yelling back and talking. It is 3 times as bad in her head, and you just make it worse. And she's just muttering like, "It's unacceptable. This place is going to the dogs. I have lived here for 15 years, and I cannot believe the riffraff they have let moved in. This is unacceptable. I cannot believe this. Just people with like different color hair. Your hair should not be that color. That's an unnatural color."
Yeah, and
What are you
Linus
doing?
doesn't do shit about any of it. It's all of these young people.
Yeah.
Fucking young people.
And she's like, "I can't believe it. It's 2 hours. It takes 2 hours for a complaint after a complaint before someone even comes to investigate. And one of them's drunk, and two of them looks like a rainbow vomited on them. And what was the other one?
Yeah.
I don't even understand what the other one was. I
Looks
don't
like
even
fucking
understand.
toothpaste.
Toothpaste? Toothpaste? Why is there walking toothpaste? The world is going to the dogs.
Toothpaste people have rights
have to
too.
I'm gonna have to move. I'm gonna have to move across town to that new apartment complex, that gated community. I'm just gonna have to because I can't stand it here anymore. If they're just gonna let grievances go on for this long, I can't handle it. I'm gonna make another report. I'm making another report and saying I need that carriage moved immediately. I don't care who left it there.
Oh my god, I
And
want to cast
what-
Psychic Lance on her.
Yeah,
so
and what did
bad.
those people look like? I don't remember.
I wish I knew what they looked like. I didn't even see anything. They were just there when I got back. Wish I knew, and I could find them and give them a piece of my mind, and they would understand that they are breaking the HOA rules.
Yeah, I wasn't even gone that long.
Yeah, ridiculous. Can't even go to the grocery store safely in this day and age. Ridiculous. And you get the idea that she
What was that?
she
An
didn't see
hour I
anything.
was out of the house?
Ugh, wasn't even an hour. Oh yeah, that cashier. A teenager was so slow as they were ringing up my groceries. It felt like I was an hour just standing in line trying to get checked out. Yeah, I guess maybe it was. Yeah, probably only about an hour that I was gone. And suddenly people just want to like take my space. Ridiculous.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
I think I've got enough. So we have a window of when the carriage was parked. Between 2 and 3 hours ago.
Okay.
See, Karens are helpful.
I am going to need to shower with a bucket
Yeah.
of bleach after that.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh.
Rhodes, are there any... Okay. Are there... Looking around, is there any, like... I'm gonna say security cameras, but that's, like, not... That's kind of what I mean. Like, any sort of, like, magical... Like, do we spot anything?
Ball things.
Yeah, like...
Security
This-
orbs?
Security
Yeah.
Are
orbs.
there
Yeah.
any persistent scrying spells active?
You can go ahead and give me a check, but I will say,
Probably not.
yeah,
Why
magic
not?
of that level
Mm.
is something that exists in castles and
Not
capital
the apartment. Not
buildings.
the HOA does not have access to that level of spell.
Yeah.
It was a 10. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you think on it, you're like, oh yeah, this place wouldn't be able to afford that. Um,
You said
but you
perception,
can.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I rolled a natural
Yeah, if
20,
you want
but
to. You also look around to see if there's anything that might, is there anything that's like recording information around here? No, but as you um kind of move around the carriage to take a look on the other side of this um, parking spot, um, you notice that the door on the passenger side is actually just slightly ajar.
she's not gonna say anything. She's gonna reach out a finger, just kind of push it open, and like look in to see if there's any sign of a struggle inside the carriage.
Yeah, you had a very high roll. So you open it up and you see, like in the back, you do see chests that you assume are full of clothes and lots of other things. But all of them are closed, sealed tight.
Mhm.
Doesn't look like anything's been moved or taken out of there. But inside, you do notice what looks like scorch marks.
Oh. Wow.
She from inside, like she's probably like bent over, like her front half is in the carriage, like really examining the scorch marks, and she calls out from inside, "Do you guys think that Scarlet Sizzle would scorch the inside of her own carriage? Also,
Probably
it smells like
not.
toasted marshmallows in here."
Mm.
Why would she torch the inside of her own carriage and then disappear?
Well, that's what I want to know. There's
Probably not
burn
on
marks.
purpose.
There's burn marks in here.
Which side is that on?
Oh yeah, the
Which
scorch
is like
marks
the
specifically.
The scorch marks are predominantly on the driver's side, but you can see some on the passenger side as well. You do get the idea that there was a struggle, potentially her being pulled,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, them being pulled, dragged, something
which
like that.
my so if I were to follow that in the direction, would that be heading north, like
Go ahead and
toward
give
the
me a
exit?
go
I
ahead and
want
give
to
me
see
either a
if there
perception or
are, yeah.
investigation. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna look specifically for if there's scorch marks there. Perhaps there's scorch marks elsewhere on either the ground or the surrounding like wall fence. The equivalent of if somebody was grasping at things on their way.
hmm Yeah.
I'll assist if I can. You can roll
Sure.
with advantage, Tina.
17 is a 24 perception.
You kind of you start on the driver's side since that's where the bulk of the scorch
Mhm.
marks were, and you look at the overhang,
Mhm.
and you notice like on the post holding it up, on the one closest to the end of the carriage,
Mhm.
on the southern side, you do
Mhm.
notice a little bit of a scorch mark there. And as it's kind of towards the lower portion of it, and
Mhm.
as you bend down to look at it a little bit closer, you find what looks to be a small folded up piece of parchment.
Mm.
Oh,
A clue.
I will bend down, pick up the piece of parchment, and unfold it.
It
Found
is a
something.
little it's a smidge singed
Yeah.
itself. um but it's not burnt that you can't figure out what it is. It just kind of looks like one edge of where it was folded is a little burnt, but you can see enough of it to understand that it is a receipt from a tattoo parlor called Adornment.
Mhm. Parlor adornment. Um, does it have a location, like an address on the receipt?
It does have the, address and uh, like name of the owner
Mhm.
listed kind of on there. It's like the header of it.
What does it
And
say
then it
what the
gets into the
tattoo
pricing.
was?
It does not list what the tattoo was. It just lists the uh, essentially value that was paid, like
Mm.
and the time that was spent, and thus the monetary value that they paid for the time of the work.
And the date on the receipt is the date today specifically.
It is today's date.
Okay. What time, based off of
Uh,
this, would this have been just prior to sort of after they arrived in town? They would have gone there and then perhaps maybe even never come to this alleyway, only the carriage did.
the time on the receipt is actually 1 p.m.
Okay. So early
So earlier than the
carriage.
3-hour time frame of the carriage that you know. And again, at this point, it's about 8 o'clock at night.
And how long was the tattoo based off of the amount that was charged? Or roughly
Um,
speaking.
yeah. The time frame listed is an hour and a half.
Okay. Oh, looks like they stopped off on the way in to get a tattoo.
And this place she'll come like back around the front of the carriage.
Are we familiar with the shop? Would it be like
It's local?
a popular shop?
Um, you can roll me a history check to see if you know of the place. But looking at the address, it is within the city limits.
Mhm.
And it is clear across town.
I
Oh,
rolled a
wow.
7, so likely she doesn't know.
Yeah, there's lots of tattoo
Mhm.
shops. You've never heard of this one in particular.
Yeah. But it does look like perhaps upon arriving to town, they might not have come, at least come straight over here.
Came in a different
Came in a different
gate.
gate. Came in a different gate. And is the tattoo shop on the other side of town, is that closer to where like if you were to come in that gate, would that take you to where our in hotel club is, where we're staying?
Um, the out and about is I didn't make an entire city map.
How dare you?
But yeah, I'm sorry.
If it helps, I'm more wondering, would it make more sense if one was coming in, also potentially if one was coming in and maybe didn't want to cause a giant ass scene, to come in from that direction and be able to get to the inn versus coming through the gate of 40 billion people?
So the city is kind of oblong-ish.
Mm.
This isn't New York grid system.
Hmm.
This is town that grew and just kind of got added
Athens.
on to. Yeah.
This is like London, confusing curved
Yeah.
streets and
Why does this
random
street exist in
alleyways.
two places that aren't connected?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So in this kind of oblongish shape,
Mhm.
um, there's the main gate that is essentially on the east side of town, and then there is a gate on the north end and the south end.
Okay.
Kind of 2/3 of the way through the oblong.
Mm.
And you can tell, like, so the main city, you're kind of in the older part of the city.
Mhm.
That's where the main gate is. And then those other gates, as the city grew, they
Mhm.
just created more access points into the city just to cope with traffic through the main gate that could be so clogged up. Um, The out and about is um, closer to the older part of town.
Mhm.
It's not as old as like original building old, but it was probably in the like second or third wave
Mm.
of expansion. So it's a little bit like from the main gate, probably about a third ish of the way through the city. Um, from the address you see for the tattoo
Mm.
shop, Adornment is probably a newer place that's kind
Okay.
of really on like the southern end. I'm sorry, the eastern end
Okay.
of the city.
Well, it's a place to check.
They're still open.
But I don't know. Maybe.
What
The
time
hours of
is it now?
business are there. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. And the hours say that they are open until 10.
Okay. I mean, we can at least
Shop's
maybe
been
try to
open till, like,
find the.
noon.
We can maybe try to find the artist.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be the last person they saw before.
It's possible if something happens, they may have left the carriage and whoever,
Went.
But why
whatever
here, of all
reasons
places?
somebody parked it
Well,
here.
I mean,
It might not have been Scarlet.
that was my thinking, is that they didn't park the carriage here.
Is
Because
there anything?
why do that? Why not park it by the tattoo parlor?
Mhm.
I feel like this was more as somebody parked it to get it away from wherever something else happened and saw a convenient spot,
Mhm.
park it in a carriage port with a bunch of other carriages, and maybe no one will notice it for a while, which
And where were those signs of battle? Was it like on the carriage
carriage.
door or on the carriage itself?
Mm.
Inside.
On the
Yeah, so there's
inside.
on the
And the
outside
door.
of one of the door, yes, there is a scratch mark that very distinctly looks like some sort of a blade
Mm.
Okay.
interacted with the door. And then the scorch marks are inside.
Is there anything? I don't know how one would determine this, but if is there anything that we can maybe discern from either inside or outside the carriage that might kind of give a clue as to how or why it ended up here? Like here of all places seems very random. So I think that Rainey, despite
It is
her
close
her
to the gate,
drunken brain
though.
is focusing
Mhm.
on like why this random ass apartment building. Like, are we aware of any Scarlet Sizzle is famous, right? So
Mhm.
do we know of anybody that they might associate that lives in the general vicinity or that may live in here?
I will give you that from what Citrell said. There's no discernible reason why they would be over here. Like, obviously,
Mm,
they don't know every person that Scarlet knows.
sure.
But it doesn't make any sense from what Citrell does know
Yeah.
in that regard. For the rest of your questions, how are you trying to approach it? Are you doing another investigation check to look for more clues, or are you just trying to put the clues you have together?
Um, a little of both, honestly. I mean, happy to roll another investigation check, but also like thinking about if I find something else, how would this fit in with what we already have? And in the first place, how does what we already have fit together as it is?
Just give me a wisdom check for now, just to try to put the pieces together.
Well, and I think in any event, it's pretty clear that this is just a
Mm.
dump point for the
I think
carriage.
that's pretty, yeah,
Yeah,
I think.
that's pretty accurate.
19. Yeah, I think like I guess like my thing is like, uh, I rolled a 19, but my thought, and I guess by extension, Rainey's thought is dump point for the carriage, but like in a random apartment complex with assigned spots, it's got HOA Karens. Like that's the weird part to her.
So maybe not a
You
random
would think,
dump of a carriage.
Yeah, like you would think that if you're gonna randomly dump something, you would do it like on the outskirts of town where
Maybe they tried to
perhaps
get
it's
out.
gonna take longer. Yeah,
Mm.
possibly.
Or they wanted
Yeah.
to piss someone off.
Carrying
Yeah,
factory.
you
Or
think
they
on
would
it.
hoping that does the carriage have any like distinguishing features that identifies it as
As
um this lady's
Who it belongs
carriage?
to.
is it
Go
flamey?
ahead and give me a. It's not a big. It's not flaming in either term.
Okay.
I was
Just
thinking
make
more the
sure.
fire
But
term,
go ahead
but
and
it
give me an
could be.
investigation check.
Yeah, is the
It's got
carriage
their face painted on the side.
The license plate doesn't say Sizzler on it or something like that.
Ah!
Yeah, my wisdom check. Sorry, Rose. If it was a 19.
19. Okay.
my investigation was a 14.
Okay.
Be
You
right
look at the
back.
carriage and you don't see anything that distinguishes it from any other carriage. If you had just been walking by and you didn't know that this was a carriage that didn't belong here, you would just think this is someone in their parking spot.
Okay.
Nothing distinct. Tying that into what Rainey is kind of like taking all those pieces, your recent observation, and putting it all together. And you're like, well, it does. Yes, it's unfortunate that this spot happens to belong to Karen the Karen, but this alleyway is pretty inconspicuous enough. It's fairly deep inside a residential area, um, that it wouldn't get a lot of uh, patrol traffic coming through, that it'd be able to hide under the radar being just dropped here, presumably.
It-
Um, Karen notwithstanding.
yeah, no one was supposed to notice or cause a fuss about this. At least not for much longer. Um so yeah, I mean unless there's anything else that we think we can learn from the carriage itself, I say we head to this tattoo parlor.
And get tattoos.
Well, you can get tattoos, I can't get tattoos.
Oh, that's sad.
It's very sad.
I mean, I just absorb all the ink. Like, I guess I'll turn a different color for a little while. Which could be cool.
There you go. All right.
Do you retain patterns too?
Probably not for very long.
To the
now I have-
tattoo shop.
You see that last
Um,
cocktail, that last like rainbow stripy cocktail? That's
Look all
already
muddy and
like
brown.
dissipated. And
But
I'm my
what
normal
is?
color.
I have questions about like what is the circulatory system that is cleansing you of this so that it doesn't stay in forever? Because we don't see organs or
No.
veins. So what is?
Well,
Magic.
I feel like I'm also
Beautiful
probably
potion.
not translucent, so
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. I'm gonna.
There's a lot of information about the anatomy of this creature type that was not explained to me ahead of time. I just saw amorphous blob and made a Hero Forge mini and then said, that looks like toothpaste.
Okay.
That was the
Yes.
entire decision process. I'm sorry
Yeah,
if you were
that's
expecting more
fine.
than that.
That's fine. It's a 2-shot, so no. And honestly, I have made characters on less. For Skytown, how did Zil get made? I had a bad day. And I was like, he has a gun, he shoots things.
I want to play a
Seems legit.
character with a gun and a fake arm. The rest is insignificant.
Yes. All right. So you guys head across town to Adornment to go ahead and investigate there. Where is my cursor? There it is. That's where it's hiding.
Do we want to take a tight 5 until Tina gets back?
Yeah.
Will
Yeah,
Tina
we
be
can.
back momentarily?
I think she might be in the bathroom. She's stuck
Okay.
away.
Yeah, we can take
Yeah,
a quick
we can go
5.
ahead and take
Yeah,
a
let's take a tight
whatever.
5.
All right.
And when we return, we'll be at a tattoo shop.
Yeah.
We shall hold on one second. Sam knows how to use OBS. We shall be right back. Now. No internet.
Oh no. The
Internet.
perverts on the internet are back.
You're still here?
You're a pervert on the internet. I don't know.
Yeah, fair. Fair. Okay, now we're off track, but I have to share this. So the other week when we didn't game because I was traveling for work,
Mhm.
I was with my boss, Jason, who has been my boss in the past, so I know him very well, even though he's my new boss, quote unquote. So we're traveling to see this vendor, and we're on the flight coming back, and I realized my personal phone battery is low, and somebody was already using the charging port. And I was like, darn. Well, I have all these fics pulled up that like I'm gonna read on the flight. So I'm like, all right, I'll airdrop them to my work phone, whose battery is
Uh-oh.
better. Well, my boss is sitting next to me, whose phone number I've had for years now. And we have the same initials. So I go to airdrop, and a hair in between my finger and that screen as I almost sent him some very, very messed up gay cannibal sex. Cannibal, thank you. And I was just like, oh,
I figured
God.
it was Hannibal.
Oh,
That's fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
Oh
was
my
like-
god.
I would have had to quit. I'd have been like, Jason, reject it. Just do me a favor. Please reject it and don't ask questions.
As you jump out of the plane
Right?
at that point.
Just reach across the aisle and just take his phone and be like, no.
I need that. Thank you.
No, but yes,
That
Oh
wasn't
my
meant for
God.
you. That
Most
wasn't meant for
stressful
you.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Honestly, just to be on the safe side now, you need to get yourself just like one of those extended batteries you put in your purse.
I have one. I didn't think to bring it for some reason. Like sitting like right there in that little bucket. Didn't think to bring it. Anyway, sorry. I
That's-
digress. But maybe
That's
think of
amazing,
it.
honestly.
Yeah. Most stressful moment of my life at that job, I think.
Not work. Accidentally airdropping smut to your boss.
Yes. Spicy content.
Trigger warning.
Anyway. Yes. But as you guys walk through town, you trek across town. Thankfully, this town does have a little bit of a transit system, like a trolley essentially that you can get on and off. So you do have to get to the trolley station, but it is able to take you most of the way. So what would have normally been a very long walk actually ends up being maybe only 20 minutes before you get there all the way across town.
Rainy definitely throws up out the window of the trolley.
Okay. Give me another con save then.
That's better. Why couldn't I have rolled that in the first place? 18.
You got it out of your system. You start to feel immediately better.
Don't let me drink that again.
Which one?
Yes.
Well, that's gonna be a long weekend.
I'll stick to beer. And she just
That's
like
no fun.
pulls out her water skin and just like rubs her head like this. She's like, oh, I should have taken this greater restoration today.
Court, high or low?
Uh-oh.
Oh god. Hi.
Okay. In retrospect, like as the trolley is stopping, you realize, oh god, there were people on that sidewalk. But you realize, like you think back and you're like, no, I turned my head. I missed them.
Well, if not,
Oh
at
my
least it
God.
probably matched their outfits.
Oh no.
Oh.
Okay, we're done. But
You won't be the
You-
first this weekend.
fair. You
That's what
guys,
you guys get for leaving the table.
yes, it's their fault. You get off the trolley, one of your member feeling immensely better, now that their system's a little bit more cleared out, and walk just a couple of blocks over to to the address that you noticed, and you just see a simple shop. It is in a newer building. This is a newer part of town, and there's a sign above the door with uh, the letters are a very fancy script, and uh, sign behind it, like the board that it's on, looks like a very elaborate portrait. So it looks very artsy. Um, as you walk in, and you walk into looks like a very nice shop. There's a nice seating area there. You can see a glass wall area that you can see like different piercings in on display. So that's where the piercings happen. It looks to be like a closed off area. Um, that's back room essentially, and then three curtained areas in the back. But at the front desk is a dark-skinned elven woman who says, "Welcome to Adornment. Do you guys have an appointment this evening?"
No.
We don't. We were actually looking for someone. Not who has that receipt?
I guess I probably still have it.
Yep.
So I'll carefully kind of unfold it and put it on the counter. I'm actually
Um,
looking for someone whom I think was here earlier this afternoon.
okay. Do you want to know the artist that did this? That looks like um probably Anessa's work at that time. And she kind of looks at there's a big ledger that looks
Mm.
like that's sitting on there. She kind of looks at it and goes, "Yeah, that was probably Anessa that did that." Um, I don't know if she's free at the moment.
Mm.
I could check. She doesn't. Well, she looks down, going, "Doesn't have an appointment, but I don't know if she's working on anything
Mm.
for her next client. But I can ask her if she can chat with you if you want to, get some work done of your own."
That would be great. We're looking for discretion, sensitive areas and whatnot.
Are you trying to? Are you trying to lie to her or convince her?
She's trying to see if we can speak to her alone. And, you know, but she's still a little tipsy, but like
Okay.
without being like, yeah, we need to ask her about somebody famous that is missing that got tattooed here.
Um. So, she looks to you and says, "Oh, okay." And you don't think she's quite getting it,
Mhm.
but she,
Mhm.
lifts up the countertop off its hinge and makes her way over to this corner station. Just kind of peeks her head through the curtain. Says, "Do you have a moment? There's some people here that want to talk to you. Maybe about some other work you've done, it sounds like."
When she's got her head peeking through the curtain, can I see if I can get a look at that ledger?
Sure. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. Also, are you trying to be sneaky when you do it?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Also, give me a stealth check.
Okay. I'm good at one of those. uh Investigation's a 5.
Oh,
This
Okay.
dice doesn't like Rainy very well, apparently. Oh, but the stealth check's a 19.
Okay. You are able to edge yourself over there and be very quiet and subtle as you do it. You kind of make it look like you're looking at some of the images of other work that's been done that's hanging on the wall. Um, but while you feel a lot better than you did maybe 45 minutes ago, you still don't feel great. Bless you. Um,
Thank you.
and you can't quite make out, especially upside down, you can't quite read anything. And if you had a little more time, you might have been able to, but the receptionist kind of turns back around, and she doesn't notice that you were over there. Again, she thinks you're looking at some of the artwork on the walls, some of the inspiration pieces, but don't get a chance to really read in depth.
Yeah, Rainey's probably like blinking her eyes because they're kind of blurry. Like, you know, when you have a headache or something and your eyes are kind of wonked out, like trying to blink it away, but it just doesn't happen.
Yeah. Um, but she says, yeah, she's free if you guys would like to chat, or if anyone wants to sit while you're waiting, couches are open too.
Thanks. Um, if I go kind of gesture to the group to kind of go over. I think I'm gonna stay out in this lobby.
Okay.
Just kind of keep an eye on, just kind of eavesdrop at anything that's any other conversations that might be happening while they talk
Sure.
to the artist.
All right. And who is going to stay, other than what Maggie's doing, who's going in to speak to Vanessa, and who's staying out here?
Um, I should probably stay in the lobby.
Mr. Gooman?
I would like to go in, unless somebody else is going to.
I mean, I can go with
the three of
I
us
can
can
go with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. There's plenty for those staying in the lobby. There's mirrors all over the place, as makes sense, but there's also, images of other work done, and even just sketches and drawings and things like that. So there's lots of things to look at aesthetically while you're waiting there. Um, you even notice Maggie, you notice a plaque on the wall, that would be kind of like right here. So as you sit down, oh geez, dang, darn it, there we go. You can see it a little better now that you've come around the corner and you sat down. And there is a plaque that's essentially saying that it's a certified woman-owned business, things like that. Um, and the other two of you can head down to this bottom corner here.
Oh.
Should be able to get through.
Okay.
The door should be open. Perfect.
Rainey will kind of do that thing where she like knocks on the wall like as she's walking in.
Um, seated behind the table there is a woman with long dark hair, and she's wearing uh, a very light, flowy shirt. It is summer, so most people are wearing lighter clothing, to be fair. It's a nice kind of like mauve, and it has actually it's like a full set of clothing, like it's matching from head to toe. She is not as colorful as the place you were earlier, but she wouldn't be entirely out of place either with what she's wearing. It's like a classier version of something that you would see there. But she looks up as she sees you guys enter and says, yeah, you guys wanted to talk about some work that I did. Is there something that you're interested in, like a style that you guys want, that you want me to sketch something up for you?
Potentially, yes, but we found you because of, well, we're looking for somebody, and we found a receipt from earlier this afternoon that was left behind. We think you might have been the last person to speak with them. Around
Okay.
1 p.m. today.
Um,
Client.
yeah, I had a client at 1. She's in for a little over an hour, maybe an hour and a half or so. Yeah, and she got some work done.
Did it happen to be somebody that might be in town to perform at the festivities.
Um, well, no, she's got a couple other pieces that she's had done here. Um, so pretty sure she lives here, and I don't think I've ever seen her perform anything. I don't really know her outside of when she's come in for work, though.
Hmm. Oh, did, above the table. Was there a seat in the car or around it?
Just outside of
Just
it.
outside the
Just
car.
outside of it. Okay.
Mm.
Uh, well, you know, we're Scarlet Sizzle's performing, you know, at the festival, and
Mhm.
we're supposed to help with security for them, and you know, locations got mixed up, and we haven't been able to find her, um, them, and it seemed like they might have visited here before going to their destination, but we're trying to connect with them, and
Or with whomever might have been with them at the time. Uh, I'll just pull out the receipt.
Mm.
We found this receipt for the work done just outside their carriage.
Oh, trust me, if I met Scarlet Sizzle, I'd be telling everybody. If I had done work on Scarlet Sizzle, oh my god.
right, we
Wow.
have tickets to the show, so we're
Mm-hmm.
just trying to make sure that everything goes off smoothly. You know, we're good friends. What the hell's her name? Citra?
Citrell.
Citrell.
Citrell. We're friends with her, just trying to help her out to make sure the weekend goes smoothly, and seems there's some snags with the you know, meet at the place at the time.
Oh, that I don't know anything about. I can't think of why Lindy would be with Scarlet Sizzle. Uh,
Old
Not
friends.
exactly the
I mean, she seems all right. As I said, she's come in here a few times, but um, her boyfriend that came in with her while she was getting the work done, real, well, piece of work, let's just say.
There's
Um,
always one, isn't there?
yeah, I mean, Lindy seems like a nice enough person, but I mean, he was going on about how the festival is travesty and blah blah blah, and Lindy's a nice client and all that, but you know, we try to be pretty inclusive in this establishment. So if she's gonna bring her boyfriend around again, I don't know if I would take any more work from her.
mm,
Can't help but wonder if she shares the views of those she associates with.
Yeah. You always have to be on your guard in that case. But yeah, I don't understand what those two would have to
mm.
do with Scarlet Sizzle. Like,
Well,
uh,
Did was it did Lindy's boyfriend pay?
yeah, it sounded like it was a gift or something for
Mm.
her.
do you know where she lives by any chance, or mention where they were going?
Um, he left. Well, he made the appointment for her. And he had to put down a deposit. He might have left his contact information um, up at the front then,
Mm.
if that's helpful.
Yeah, I
Certainly.
mean,
I mean,
it seems like maybe, I mean, could be just a coincidence, although hearing about his views, probably not. But he seems to maybe have been the last person that Scarlet ran into.
You think like wait,
So you know how there are people who
like
cause a ruckus sometimes.
so like you think somebody kidnapped Scarlet Sizzle?
Oh,
And her voice did get a little bit
Yeah.
louder. And so
Not
the two of you that are
We hear that?
outside, yeah, roll me
Mhm.
a perception check.
Yeah.
not kidnap
Maybe
necessarily,
persuaded
Miss
or
Jackson.
maybe just was a
keep her
huge
hung
pain
up.
in the dick, and Scarlet said, "I'm getting the fuck out of here."
And
Listen,
Dustin, what was
if you
yours?
try to help us, if you help
14.
us out, we're potentially getting backstage passes. You could be a part of our group.
Okay. Well, and you two definitely heard that. And from this side of the curtain, like it, oh god, I'm on the wrong cursor. There it is. It opens, and another woman like pops over and is like, "What? What? What? Like, I have
Um,
tickets to that show. We have tickets to the
I
Yeah, we
show."
have
go-
tickets to that show.
I go into the little office.
Nice. Ace is outraged too. He has tickets to that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I come in here. Sam, are you following me?
Yeah, I guess she'll kind of hop off the couch and like move this way just to like see what's going on and like the ruckus.
I with
She'll
one of
stay out here though.
I make a little tentacle and motion you into the room.
Okay. Oh, maybe.
Come hither towards
It's
my
about to
Jew
get real
tentacle.
crowded in here.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll just
And I close the door.
I'll shift over here.
She'll go over here. There we go.
Yep.
You
there-
closed the curtain. It's a curtain.
It's a
To be
curtain.
fair, that's why you could hear it so easily.
Yeah.
Are there two people in here? Am I
Yep.
seeing that right?
Yeah,
Yep.
she's
Okay.
she's
Well, somebody came
essentially,
around,
like,
right?
Yeah.
she like came around. She like parted the curtain on the side and just like basically has her head sticking
Oh
in.
my
like,
god.
And I just say to this artist in her mind, in her own voice, no one is saying anything like that. We are just looking for her. We haven't been able to get into contact, and this was the last place that we thought she was. So, do you know anything about who or where the person who this appointment actually was for? Like, do you know where they are?
say all that in Anessa's mind, and honestly, it freaks her out even more. It's just like, what is tonight? What is tonight? Okay, okay. Like I told your friends, yeah, my client Lindy had the appointment. Her boyfriend paid for it and booked it as a gift. And I think their information is in the ledger up front. I don't manage that.
Did either of them say anything to you about uh Scarlet Sizzle or the shows or any of the festivities going on this week?
Yeah, the boyfriend sounded like a massive homophobe.
Apparently he was going off about those people and
Who you calling people?
exactly.
So
Oh my god, you
just
can't just assume someone's people.
See someone
continuously, God. So, in theory, if he wanted to distract Scarlet and make them late for their show,
I mean, he didn't seem like the kind of guy that was like a mastermind.
maybe not a doer, more of a talker.
No, he seemed more like a doer, but not a planner.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
we're just trying
yeah.
to explore all options because, we're tasked with making sure everything gets off smoothly and dress rehearsals, you know?
Gotcha. Well, yeah, if you want their contact information, we can grab it from the front.
Um,
100%
I just-
would love that.
I just say we appreciate your cooperation. I trust that you won't go spreading around any false or inflammatory rumors, right? And I want to make an intimidation check
Okay, roll your intimidation check.
because this is the last thing we fucking need. People thinking that she's fucking kidnapped and causing panic. Bastards.
Oh,
That is a
yeah.
natural 20
Yeah.
for
19.
27.
Damn.
Okay. You say that in her mind, and it comes across very strong. It almost, to her, from her perspective, sounds like her mother when angry.
Mm.
And so she goes, okay. I didn't say anything. Then she looks at her associate that's like halfway through the curtain, who just kind of shrugs and is like,
Mm.
But
Um,
also, if you have any openings next weekend, I'd kind of like a plague doctor right here. You know, maybe we can collaborate on some art.
Not the time.
Sorry, we're here.
What,
Yeah, you can check-
what did Lindy get, actually? What sort of piece
Oh.
was she in here for?
Oh, it was like a part with their anniversary date on it.
Gross.
Yeah, a lot of flowers and all of that is shading. It took a little bit of time. But yeah, if you want to make an appointment, again, you can handle it up front. She manages all of that.
Excellent.
I'll leave to head up front. You can like slide through, like look around, like why the fuck was I brought in here? And then just like try and
Because I thought this was a door.
Sort of did.
shuffle out with everybody else.
Yes. And these are, quadrants that are not meant for that many people to be in
Yeah.
there. It's just for like the artist and the customer. So
Yeah.
you guys were like shoved in this little corner.
I've done that in a tattoo shop before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't we all?
Go ahead and give me a perception check as you guys exit.
15?
22.
That is another natural 20
Mhm.
Yeah, it
Jesus.
is.
for
Okay.
20.
All right, everyone but Maggie, as you guys leave this curtained off area, the three of you notice those two tattoo artists whispering to each other.
Mhm.
It didn't spread anything. They're just whispering to each other. The receptionist at the front says, okay, there's a lot of people in that little area. Did you guys get what you need? Did you want to set up an appointment time? I can see when Ines is available next.
Yeah, yes. 2 weeks.
We were told we could get the contact information for the person that was her 1 o'clock appointment
That too.
earlier today.
We don't usually give out our customers' information. It's kind of like their information.
Ordinarily, I do respect that, but these are extenuating circumstances.
Oh, because you think Scarlet Sizzle is missing?
Well, not saying
Heard it,
Scarlet
she
Sizzle
heard it.
is missing. Not necessarily kidnapped, just missing. Not in the location in which they were expected to be.
Okay. I will give it to you this time. Do not tell my boss.
Tell them what?
Tell who what? I don't even know your boss.
Good answer.
I mean, if you want to be clear of any blame, you could just go to the bathroom for a second.
I appreciate that, but I would rather make sure that you just get what you need and don't peruse anything else. No offense.
Ledgers aren't exactly interesting reading, but sure.
Okay. Whatever. She's flipping back a couple of pages.
Insulted.
Just like you probably don't balance your checkbook either.
And she takes like a scrap piece of parchment and scribbles down some notes and says, "All right, this is the address that they gave me. So hopefully that helps." But again, you did not get this from me.
Yeah, what from who? And Maggie will take it. Thanks, happy pride! And leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry if she got glitter on anything. Just kind of. I think it might just. I think she might sweat it. And then Rainy just leaves.
Okay. You guys leave. You just hear her saying, "I mean, this whole town is covered in glitter for the next 4 days. What's the difference?" All right. You guys now have the address.
I
of-
swear to God, if we're going back to that apartment complex.
That would have been really
you
good.
look at the address, and it is not that same apartment complex.
Awesome.
Do not worry.
That would have been really funny if it had been
Is
Karen.
it in this new? Is it in
Karen?
the new gated?
Was it Karen the whole time?
Is it in like
Mhm.
the new gated community, which probably has a worse HOA?
I really wish that I had thought to make Karen the big bad.
The whole
Damn it, I'm
time?
gonna rewrite the whole story now. Screw it. Complete rewrite.
Oh, we
I mean,
gotta
if
pause
this
now,
HOA is
guys. Tune in next week.
Yeah.
If this HOA is worse, maybe we could tell Karen she can move in here, then nobody will park.
Well, she's trying to. She wants to relocate to this new community that supposedly has a gate or something.
You look at this address and you know, as is not in the new community. There's no HOA for these condos. This is in a more rundown part of town. That's a little bit closer to the southern gate. That would
More
probably
like an
take you maybe
H.
about 15 minutes to get there.
Somehow like a home squatters association.
They're official apartments, but it's, you know, they're not gonna be new or pretty. They definitely don't have any of the amenities like assigned parking spots and storage areas. They're bare bones apartments. Place to rest your head.
Well, now this is where the carriage should have been parked. Does it say an apartment number on that slip, Maggie?
Does it say an apartment number on this list?
Yes. Apartment 42A.
42A.
All right. Let's
That
go.
direction.
Okay. You guys take a brisk, as I said, 15-minute walk in that area. The trolley does not go through that part of town. So that would not help expedite any things in any way, shape, or form. So you guys just take a brisk walk through town and get to this apartment area, and they're all like, it's a bunch of small 2-story almost like fourplexes, kind of, that just like are clumped together. And this one is on the ground floor level. Once you approach it.
We also got a group hydrate in the chat. Everyone has to hydrate.
Hydrate. All right.
Water's for losers. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, it was a hydrate redemption, not a shots redemption.
Yeah. Are you
Have a
saying
lot
that
of
shots
things
are
to
not hydrating? What?
I'm saying that doing shots does not hydrate you, even though they are in every other way better and more fun.
I don't know. Is it tequila? I can't do tequila anymore. I can't. I'm too old for tequila. All right. You guys walk up to the door of this apartment. It looks like there are people milling about, but nobody that seems to give a rat's ass that you guys are over here right now.
What's
Did
the general
like the vibe,
vibe?
Yeah.
Like,
of the
is there,
neighborhood.
are they like celebrating out here? Is it a lot more quiet? Is it like
You do see an apartment that has like a pride flag in the window, but you don't see any celebration happening.
Okay.
The while the festivities will be like citywide, a lot of that will be in more areas that have the bars and whatnot. This is a little bit more residential.
What do you as we go through sort of the neighborhood on the way here, are we looked at in any particular way? Are we getting more glances than we would otherwise in other parts of the city?
Yeah, give me an insight check.
18.
You notice a couple people look at you guys, kind of be like, "What the fuck?" But you're not sure if it is the glitter or the toothpaste. So you definitely get a few funny looks, but no one that really cares enough to look twice. They notice you, they have questions, and then they go about their life.
Okay.
Okay.
What are we gonna say to this before we barge up into someone's home?
yeah, what's
Because
the
that is
plan
kind of
here?
rude. That is kind of rude.
As we're walking up, do I see any like maybe not in the like apartment, it's like obviously not up to the apartment, but like on the street level, like any signs of a tussle or like scorch marks? Like anything that stuff like that.
That indicates something happened. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Give me an investigation check.
I 20.
Yeah.
Okay. You look around like as you're walking, you're paying attention to like you and Alessandra are both paying like focusing on your surroundings, but in different ways. One is looking at the people, one is looking at the environment. And as you're looking at the environment, you do notice signs of struggle and like tussles, but it's nothing that looks, for lack of a better term, out of place.
Sure.
Like this is a more rundown part of town. So it's like, yeah, maybe someone did just get into a fight and punch that wall and nobody ever repaired it because it just wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
To take the time and effort. So you notice things like that. You don't notice any scorch marks though.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Um, the door going into this apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any gaps?
Just
Preferably
gonna go
an
into his
inch or more.
house.
Love it. I love it. I'm sorry, what size did you say? Gaps what? I'm sorry.
An inch or bigger between the door and the floor, the door and the jamb on either side.
Um,
Is this door locked with a peculiarly large key?
high or low, Dustin?
Low.
Okay. You guys walk up to the door and you realize that, wow, they really should put up some new weather stripping around here, especially on the bottom. It's gotta be real drafty with how big of a gap
Oh.
there is between the door and the floor. And Goo looks at it and goes, bet I could squeeze through there.
I squeeze under the door just far enough to be able to see.
Okay.
While
Uh,
Goo is puddling under the door,
Yeah.
Now I'm imagining
I
like
literally
snail
just turn into a
eyes.
puddle.
can I do either like perception or investigation roads to see if anything in this neighborhood, like uh Maggie and Alessandra were looking for like signs of a scuffle. I want to look for something that's aside from us looks out of place.
sure. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. And then
Do you
Dustin, give
need
me a
like a
yeah.
perception?
Thank you.
18.
Okay.
10.
Okay. As you guys are, letting your puddle friend puddle, um,
Hey man,
Those
puddle's
one
got a puddle.
yeah, puddle's got a puddle. Rainy, you look around and you're not seeing anything that seems out of place in this neighborhood other than yourselves. You are certainly the most vibrant thing in this very kind of drab, rundown neighborhood. Um, it just looks like a place where, like, you certainly wouldn't want to live here, but you're not gonna judge people who can't afford a better apartment. Like, it is what it is. That's the
People gotta
fucking
live
economy.
somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta have a roof over your head. The economy sucks. Gotta do what you gotta do.
I would hope that whatever his name is not stupid enough to whisk someone off against their will and bring them to their own home.
And I'm sorry, the on that parchment I should have said did have his name that he put down with the deposit, Enos.
Enos, okay.
Mhm. Um, so as you're kind of muttering that out loud, Gooman, you know, puddles in, looks around with tentacle snail
Yeah,
eyes,
just looks-
um, and you see an empty one studio apartment. It's nobody's in there, but you see, small dining room table, small desk, bed, little kitchenette area, wardrobe. Nothing to write home about.
Yeah, I reconstitute myself on the outside of the door. And just say it looks like it's empty in there.
Like empty, like someone hasn't been around. Ah,
It looks like just a dirty, empty one-bedroom apartment. Oh, I'm sorry, you said it was a flat?
It's a studio. Yeah.
Studio.
Mhm.
Studio apartment. Doesn't
Yeah.
look like anybody's home.
Yeah. From the glance you got, it definitely looks like a bachelor pad.
mm.
Like, those two were dating, but they probably don't live together yet.
But she's getting anniversary memorial tattoos or whatever.
Look.
Well,
Gross.
I would certainly hope that she does not live here.
It's got just condiments in the fridge, nothing else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There might be a jar of pickles.
Beer.
You know, every time one of you says something, you just make it worse and worse. I know you're trying to help.
Ugh.
Um, on our way up here, did we see like any of the neighbors or anything?
You saw people, out and about, living their lives. Not a ton. It is getting late at night. The sun is set at this point. It's past 9 o'clock. But you didn't like. Were you looking for anything in particular in the with the neighbors?
Just
Or
like
just the fact
a
that they-
neighbor that we could ask, hey, like, do you know, like, does this dude work the night shift? Do
Hmm.
you know his girlfriend or where she lives?
Give me a perception check.
You know how aggressively average I am at those. Stop making me roll this shit.
That's like
Can
the
I
most
cast
common
guidance
check.
Yeah,
on him? Can I cast guidance on Gooman?
yeah. If you want, it's your ability.
I'll guide, and then she's like, "Mister, get your sticky."
I think you got some glitter on your hand.
You can wipe it on my cape, it's fine. That's a
Swipe it on
D4.
Maggie's arm.
Yeah. No, but it's not
7.
sir.
7.
It started at 5,
Okay.
so
That's progress. You do notice someone. It is an older gentleman that's sitting outside his apartment, like 2 buildings over, and he's sitting in a rocking chair, kind of rocking back and forth. Got a cigarette, got a beer in his hand.
Hanging
Just
out
hanging
on the
out.
stoop.
He's hanging out on the stoop.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you do.
yeah, I go over to him and ask, hey, do you mind if I ask you a question or two about the guy who lives in that apartment?
Uh, what are you? Yeah, I suppose that'd be okay.
Um, it doesn't look like he's home. Does he work nights, or do you think he's with his girlfriend somewhere?
Which one is that again? And you see him like squinting,
Oh
trying to make
no.
out exactly which building it is that
Oh
you're pointing at.
no.
Is that 42A?
Yeah.
42. Wasn't it
A.
B? Or
Thing.
was it A?
Yeah.
Okay.
That. I don't even know if he has a job. I see him with his girlfriend sometimes, but comes and goes. His buddies show up, drink until all hours of the night. I don't know.
You wouldn't happen to know where his girlfriend might live, do you?
No idea. She seems nice enough. She says hi when she walks by, at least. More than you can say for most people around here, but no, that's about it.
Hmm. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks.
You're welcome,
Gooman.
person. Fair enough name. Fair enough.
Mr. and Mr. What was your name? Didn't quite catch that.
Abe.
Abe. You remind me of somebody that my grandpa. He always knew what was going on around in the neighborhood, you know?
Live here long enough, you learn stuff, yeah.
Uh, you haven't heard any whispers of anybody being discontent with the wonderful celebrations going on around the city. and
Uh.
maybe them wanting to cause a disruption or anything, have you?
Oh, yeah, the punk and his friends are mouthing off sometimes, talking about, you know, the good old days. They're kids. They don't know what it was like back then. They actually stopped and had any manners and asked an old timer what it was like back in the day. Maybe I could tell them what it was like back in the day, but they don't have any damn manners, no home training in these kids today.
Yeah, he sounds like a real asshole from what we've heard.
Yeah, there's a lot of them in this world. But yeah, they're those types that just always got a lot to say about how things should be. Got a lot of opinions, not a lot of brains to go with them.
There's always one in the neighborhood, but I guess I was just wondering if you heard anything that might have stuck out.
Um, Duck out. Well, he had a bunch of people kind of coming in and out of his place in the last day or so. Even earlier today, I don't think I saw him, but his buddy seemed to just walk right in. I don't know, maybe checking on the place for him if he's out of town or something.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You
just a lot of
catch where they
comings and
might have been
goings.
going once they left?
Um, uh, I don't know if I was paying that much attention. They might have gone south through the neighborhood.
They didn't happen to be accompanied by a fire ganassi, did they?
No, think of Fire Ganassi. Well,
Would stand
other than
out.
right now, would have been the most interesting thing to be around here. But you win.
Uh,
Do we know if there's anything south that would be points of interest or anywhere,
Give
important or noteworthy?
give me a history check.
Mm,
17.
17.
I have a
15.
modifier, so it's just what I rolled.
Just 17.
Yeah.
Sam, like there was a 17 train.
I got a 7.
Okay, I'll give you that. Okay.
And I got in the teens.
There you go.
Um, the three of you in the teens kind of think you're like, well, south is the south gate out of town. Most interesting thing in that direction is, well, south does lead to the beach, which is where the big stage will be for like the main party. It's the only thing of note that you know. You don't really know this part of town very well, but that's generally the only interesting thing south.
If they wanted to cause trouble at the showgrounds, that'd be the direction to go in.
I'll wait till we step away from this guy.
Well, thank you, sir. Abe. You have a very lovely night.
Well, thank you. It's nice to have people actually stop and talk every once in a while, so I appreciate the chat and thought I had seen everything, but now I think I've seen everything, so you guys have a good one yourselves.
I
If
extrude
nothing
a
else,
tentacle and wave at him as we leave.
So gross.
the blue goo with tentacles will be a good story.
Yeah. No one's gonna believe me though.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Start off towards the south.
Yeah.
Gooman, should you check in with Citrell? Can you check in with Citrell this distance?
No.
Oh.
If I communicate telepathically with someone,
You don't have
it has to begin within 30 feet,
Oh.
but I can hold that connection for 7 minutes up to 4 miles.
Mm.
and no
Okay.
Did you
sending.
take sending today?
But it's not
Mm-mm.
not like ascending.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
not today. But okay, Citrell will probably check in with us.
So I'm
You
thinking
reasonably assume that she'll check in with Anchor because
Yeah.
she
Mm.
knows that, like, that's if Scarlett's gonna show up,
Yeah.
hopefully it's there at the room they're gonna check in. So, that's kind of the anchor point. Pun fully intended.
that shouldn't have been that funny. I'm wondering if maybe Scarlet came through the south gate and whatever we find, if we find
Maybe.
something at the beach, maybe they just ran across
These punks.
Yeah. But then why literally took the carriage across town?
Trying to throw people off the trail.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
guess.
maybe trying to, if carriage is expected to come in, go somewhere else in town.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go check out the beach and then head back.
Yeah, we could at least look for, maybe keep an eye out for other signs of conflict.
Unless Boomin wants to sneak inside and take a closer look.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I can do that.
Apartment.
Buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, as we go back over there, I slide all the way under the door, and for good measure, once I'm on the other side, I just unlock the door from the inside. And open it.
I'll cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
Yeah, once the door's unlocked, go in.
All right. Who
Stealthily.
unlocks it from the inside? Yeah. Give me stealth checks. Goo doesn't have to because you just slid in. You're fine.
Plus 10.
11
22.
plus 2, 16, 23.
31.
Nice.
I wanted to roll a stealth check anyway. I got a 32.
Oh, okay. That's fantastic. You slide so silently.
I'm a puddle on the floor.
See how I move.
See how I dampen the floor a little.
You've collected enough dust now that you no longer have that like squish squick sound.
See, now I'm hearing Gooman in Alan Tudyk's voice. And that's all I accept.
My cloak has gotten really dirty as well. So I just look like a puddle on the floor that's like half wiped up with like a dirty dish rag.
Beautiful. What a wonderful image.
I fit in perfectly here, I'm sure.
Fair. That's fair. All right. The apartment door opens from the inside thanks to your friends, and you guys are able to walk right in without anybody being any of the wiser. When you enter into the apartment, do you guys close the door behind you?
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
Okay. Making sure. Yeah. When you enter into the apartment, as you had kind of described, it's a general bachelor pad. You've got your twin bed in the corner, a little nightstand, dresser, desk, table, little like kitchenette area, and then you realize that, oh no, it's not that there's only beer in the fridge. That's a whole damn keg.
Oh.
Classic.
Is it a kegerator?
Yeah, it's basically
It's actually just a kegerator.
Yeah. Magical kegerator.
Uh,
Priorities.
Classy.
Rainy is gonna go look under the bed to see if
Ew.
he's hiding anything.
Oh God.
Okay.
I am
All
sorry
right.
for you.
You head over there and you make that perception check or investigation, whichever you want. Whoever's better.
I provide the aid action.
Okay. And what is Alessandra checking out? Well, that's been rolled.
13 I'll go investigation since I'm actively looking.
Okay. Team?
Let's see. I think I want to look for signs if they're, I guess, just prior to when people headed out. If this looks like there were a bunch of people here, so the detritus of a bunch of folks maybe meeting up for some brewskis prior to, yeah.
Okay. So do you focus on like the dining area, the
Um,
kitchen area,
Probably
like
dining and kitchen area,
okay.
although I would imagine that they may not be all too careful about where they're leaving their red solo cups and
I mean like maybe.
All
All right, go ahead
but
and
yeah,
roll
I
me
want to
your
look and see if it looks like, this is obviously an individual's apartment, but Abe did say that it's this punk and his friends. So
Okay. Go ahead and roll me your investigation check as well.
that's great. Nope, that sucks. It's an 8.
Okay. Under the bed when Rainy looks, you see well, this stream is not for the kids. So you see crusty tissues for the most part, as well as
Gross.
some clothes that kind of got knocked under, got some dust on them that who knows how long. He's probably been missing that pair of underwear for way longer than you really want to know.
Ew.
It's disgusting. You regret your choice.
Rudy.
Alessandra, as you look around, you notice a bunch of beer glasses,
Mhm.
but it is hard to tell if it is he doesn't do his damn dishes and so everything's just dirty, or if they were all dirtied at the same time due to multiple people being here. You're not quite certain.
Ugh. Ugh.
So Guman was helping with the under the bed investigation. And what was Maggie checking out?
Is this a desk?
Mm-hmm.
Can I go through that?
Sure.
My +0. That's okay because it's a nat 20 again.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Guys, be prepared. Combat. It's gonna be this way.
All right. So you wait. You check out this desk over here and you start rifling through, and you notice what looks like almost like a schedule log, of like, okay, Jim Bob, 9:00, nothing, and then Stevie Joe, 11:00, nothing. Lindy, 1:00, nothing. And it goes back about a day and then suddenly ends with today at about 3:00 is the last entry. And it says Rick, 3:00. But there's no entry next to it that says anything like what the findings were.
I'll show it to everybody. Think something had to have happened.
Surveillance log?
Maybe. It would have been
Gotcha.
after the tattoo appointment.
Maybe it's Lindy. Lindy was 1 p.m. at
Mhm.
the tattoo artists, right?
Mhm.
And then
And then the next entry was Rick
Rick,
at 3.
which is within that time frame that you had said.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Does he- I mean, sounds like this guy and his friends were, I don't know, maybe keeping tabs.
Everyone give me a perception check.
It's much better. I
15.
15.
can't add 23.
17.
Okay. As you guys are chatting, like talking through, like, okay, yeah, this is some sort of a
Mhm.
security log. What were they tracking? Yep, it suddenly ends at the right time to like fit the overall timeline. You hear voices outside the door, and before you can react, the door opens, and through the door, you see a half orc walking in, and he's kind of like turned behind him,
Mhm.
talking to someone. Like, yeah, we'll meet him later. We gotta get this first, okay? As these two walk in the door.
Mhm.
And everyone just kind of pauses. And that's where we will pause for the night.
Guys, I don't have
Well,
anything
man.
for this.
Hello.
I have nothing except that I am small.
Hi, I'm small.
Hi, I'm small. I'm gonna go hide in a cabinet. Okay, thanks. Your kegerator? I'm gonna hide in there.
Be like, I don't know. The landlord just let us in. He said this place
Yeah.
is up for rent.
Oh, all right.
Right, well, we will see next
Yeah.
week if those plans work out for you guys.
I don't think
They are
they're
not.
gonna.
Probably
Oh.
won't.
Preview, they are not gonna work out.
No.
Oh, my plans are going to work out real well.
You're gonna turn into a puddle, Alex Mack style, and leave?
That's
No.
what I'm thinking.
I
of the
mean,
whole
you're kind of
time.
already a puddle.
No, I'm going to cast my 4th level spell.
Oh.
What is it?
I'm not
Disintegrate?
telling you. You'll just have to tune in next week and find out.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger.
No.
Ooh.
All right. Well,
Woo.
So, well, thanks for tuning in, those that watched.
Yes.
Yes.
As
Yeah.
we searched for Scarlet Sizzle and also started to learn the anatomy of plasmoids. There's
Yeah.
a lot of questions still to be answered.
The anatomy
Uh,
of a toothpaste.
Yes, of a toothpaste, a sentient toothpaste. But
Yep.
yes, thank you everyone that was able to join in and watch. And
Yay.
we'll be here same time next week.
Yeah.
Bye, Internet.
Goodbye.
Happy
Internet.
Pride.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bread.